What is up, YouTube? It is Dolly back in the house. It is good to see you beautiful people jumping into the chat room so fast. Tonight, we're just doing an open discussion. We're talking all things true crime and some, of course, some of the bigger cases that are out right now. But first, you guys already know the routine. I'm going to need you to leave your DNA all over that like button, just in case you go missing in the hills of Tennessee. For some reason, a lot of people go missing in them damn hills. They have eyes. I tell you, people, them hills have eyes. So Dolly's going to come find you, though, but I'm going to need your fingerprints and your DNA all over that damn like button. Don't make me say it a million times tonight, okay? Don't make me say it 1,000,001 times. And also, if you're brand new out there and you're watching, sub up the channel, share us on any social media you want, okay? As long as it's not Pornhub, unless you put me in the ugly category, okay? Then you can do it, but I don't suggest it. I don't suggest it. And since we're going to be talking about true crime tonight and people that may or may not be arrested in the future, I want to give my warnings. Dolly Vision's for entertainment purposes only. We talk news, rumors, gossip, speculation, theories mixed with a little bit of comedy and a whole lot of chaos. So don't take nothing here as fact. Just completely my opinion, satire, people. The callers tonight and people that come up on panel, their opinions are theirs and theirs alone, not to reflect onto Dolly Vision. Everyone, and I mean everyone, is innocent to proving guilty in a court of law. Even the people we are talking about here tonight. And of course, I think you guys already know, the biggest one of them all is don't try to be Dolly at home unless you want to lose your girlfriend and she go back and hook up with Seth Rogers. Don't do it. Do not try to be Dolly. It is extremely dangerous. And I will not, and I repeat, I will not be held responsible for that. Okay. I won't be responsible for that. You know, so over the last few days, we've been talking a lot about this girl, Melodee Buzzard, which went missing out of California, 9-year-old girl. The question, is she missing or is she not missing, is really the big question, because we have a situation that's a lot like the Lori Vallow situation, where Lori Vallow just basically up and left and her kids vanished, right? And she didn't seem to care where her kids were, and she didn't speak until she was arrested. And of course, they found the body of her children buried at her new husband's house in a fire pit. Okay. Is this a situation we're dealing with that's like Lori Vallow, with a mother that has mental health issues? Now, some people would say Lori Vallow didn't have mental health issues. She's sitting in prison. That lady is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. She thought her kids were demons. She was out trying to unalive people. And for a Christian woman, she wasn't very Christian, right? She wasn't very Christian. And now we see this mother, Ashley Buzzard, that's similar in nature. You know, they say she has some mental health problems, and her daughter just vanishes. But unlike Lori Vallow even said, well, her kids went off with people. They were with this person or with that person. When come to find out, they wasn't. This lady hasn't said anything, even when the police have come and took her out of her home and searched her home. She refuses to say anything about what happened to her daughter. Won't say if she's alive or dead. Won't say if she's missing or not missing. Won't say if she's with a friend or not. Just completely, I'm not saying nothing. So over the last couple of days, we've seen a lot of police presence, CPS presence at her home. Okay. People are out there probably not as we speak right now, because it's probably pretty late there in that neighborhood, but daily they have been out there protesting in front of the home. So the neighbors have been keeping an eye on what's going on in that house. Because since the little girl has been missing, people have been putting up signs in front of the house. We remember the sign stuff. Like, remember when Gabby Petito went missing, and then of course Brian Laundrie, and people gathered outside of the Laundrie home. Some of these people are like batshit crazy YouTubers, is what I like to call them. Batshit crazy YouTubers were gathered outside of Gabby Petito's home. It's only 10:30 here. Okay, well, 10:30, that's still pretty decently late in the evening. There may be people out there protesting. I'm not there, so I couldn't tell you, but I know they were out there earlier today. Okay. And yesterday and the day before yesterday. And the neighbors have been kind of keeping an eye on things out there of what her behavior has been like and what she's doing, if she's been outside or if she's not been outside. Basically, all eyes are on this mother right now. So, like just a couple of days ago, she was seen snatching up signs out the yard. And if you remember, we also seen Brian Laundrie's dad go outside and snatch up some signs, right? We're talking about Ashley Buzzard, the mother of Melanie Buzzard, the missing 9-year-old child from California that has just vanished. Nobody knows where she's at, and the mother's not speaking. That's where you guys that are just tuning in, okay? Now, if you come in late, just rewind, because I don't want to have to, like, as one person comes in, keep telling people what we're talking about. So if you come in just a little bit late, and you ask that question in the chat, just chatters, let them know that, hey, just rewind a little bit and put it on 2 times speed so you catch up. And so we don't have to constantly kind of tell a little bit, recap, tell a little bit, recap, tell a little bit, recap, because that's what it'll be as people come into the room, because people are jumping in. Of course, you're late, you're tardy, okay? Now I'm going to have to make y'all bring in letters of why you're late to class tonight moving forward. Okay, moving forward. But, neighbors seen her out there snatching up signs. And then the following day, of course, police showed up to serve search warrants. Now, neighbors are alleging that forensic teams were in the house and they took out carpet. They took out drywall. They were tearing up stuff in the garage in hopes of finding some information that may lead them to Melodee. Okay. So we don't know how accurate that information is, but that is what's being reported from the locals. Okay. That they also came out the house with big 2 yellow garbage bags. But before they went in there and did all this searching, 2 plainclothes police officers showed up at the house. Okay. So they wasn't in uniform. They were just plainclothes, but they did have guns on their hip. They went in. She let them in. Then she leaves with them. And the police say they took her to a safe location while they performed searches on her house, her storage unit, and of course, at this time, they're in possession of the rental car that she had. And you would be thinking, well, this is what I was thinking. I don't know if I can't speak for what you were thinking, but I can speak for what I was thinking. They went into this house and they searched. Maybe they seen something with stains on it that needed further testing. Okay. So they removed these items from the house. But I don't think it's enough to consider it a crime scene. Okay. Now, if there was puddles of blood and something that made it look like there was a crime scene at this house, I think they would have locked the house down. But later that night, which was yesterday, they actually bring her back home. Not in handcuffs. She never left in handcuffs. She hasn't been arrested for anything yet. And they just basically drop her back off at the house around midnight and go about their day. And still, now, there still hasn't been an arrest. There's still no information where this 9-year-old little girl is at. And weeks have passed. Now, we know when kids go missing, time is of the essence, right? Every minute matters. Every day matters. The more time that goes by, the worse the case looks. And look, for you guys that grew up watching the next 48 or the first 48, which I always watch 48 and the next 48. We know after the first 48 hours, the chances of someone being found alive just in 48 hours is cut in half by 50%. So it's a 50% chance, and that's just after 48 hours. This little girl now has been missing for over 3 weeks. She was last seen October 7th at the rental car place right before her mother took a 1,500-mile, almost halfway across country trip all the way to Kansas. Now, people are looking for this little girl from Kansas to Idaho to damn Nebraska, and she did this trip there and back in 3 days. Okay, she did this trip in 3 days, so it's almost like she drove there and drove straight back. So is this a situation where something transpired in that home? But my thing is this, is if she was going to unalive the kid, why would she take the kid to a rental car place? And guys, at the top of the chat is my link to join me here on stream. If you want to come up on panel, this is all I ask, that when you come into the backstage, you show yourself so I know you're a human being and not a troll, right? And then once you do, you can turn your camera off and I will bring you on the screen. You don't have to have your camera on to come on screen. It's basically like a group call. Okay. And I will have the call in number up in a little bit also. So that way y'all guys can interact on some of this stuff that I am discussing tonight. So my thing is this, why would she take her to the rental car place? And we see the picture of Ashley Buzzard. I mean, Melanie Buzzard inside the rental car place, and it's just her and her mother, and she appears to be healthy, but what some people say is wearing a disguise. Now, her mother has been known to wear wigs. Now, for anybody that has a daughter like Dolly, well, my daughter's grown now, but when she was a little girl, most little girls like to play dress up. So if your mama's wearing wigs, they're going to be wearing wigs, right? So I don't know if it was a case of where this little girl was wearing the disguise, because there was really no, at this point, there was no reason for disguise. But the school was coming down on her because she was being homeschooled, but there were certain requirements where she had to show up to the school. In the year prior to that, she had showed up to all them agreements, but the 2025 school year, she did not. I'm seeing people out here saying she sold the girl. Now, it has come out that Ashley Buzzard is in a little bit of financial crisis. Okay. She has credit card bills somewhere roughly between $7,000 and $8,000 that she owes on credit. Right. But here's the thing. She's already filed bankruptcy just like in the last couple years. So she can't file bankruptcy again on this money. Some people say, I think it's once every 7 years. It may vary from place to place that you can actually file bankruptcy. So she has debtors and collectors coming after her. Now, I truly thought to myself in the beginning of this, that this is a mother that was worried about losing her daughter because she had lost one daughter previously. Melanie's father died when she was 6 months old in a motorcycle accident. But she has an older sister that was taken by a father or CPS. We're not quite sure. Some people say CPS took the child and gave that baby to a father, but that father is a different father than the one, of course, that died in the motorcycle accident. So this lady technically has already lost one child. And, she's going through mental health stuff. And a lot of times when people have mental health issues, they get a little paranoid and they start thinking people are out to get them. So I truly believe just a little bit in the beginning that maybe she's just scared that she's going to lose the kid. And Melanie's family on the father's side seems like they want Melanie. All of them that gave interviews were like, yeah, we told her to let her stay with us. We kept trying to get her to give us the baby. And she wouldn't, right? So I was feeling like, well, maybe Melanie's overwhelmed thinking social services are going to take her child and they're going to give her to the deceased father's parents, right? Because she had been staying with the grandmother previously. Okay. But then social services went in and brought Melanie back to Ashley. So at some point, there had to be some CPS home studies. Like they were going into the house, they're making sure there's food, making sure there's a safe place for Melanie to live. And they decided, okay, the mother has the ability to take care of the child. And they gave her back to her. Okay. Now I'm sure they're thinking, well, wow, this was a mistake because now Melody has vanished, or she's been hidden, or she's deceased somewhere. You know, every day that goes by farther and farther, I start to lean more towards something bad has happened to this little girl, because at this point it's made national wide news. So would you be hiding this child if you was like a loved one or a family member or a friend? Most people be like, well, look, there's too much heat on this little girl. The FBI is looking for her. Would you want to get yourself in trouble by hiding this little girl? Now, at this point, you really couldn't get in trouble because there's really hasn't been any law that has technically been broken. All right. It's not against the law to take your child out of state. It's not against the law to leave your child with somebody. It's not, none of these things are against the law. You have these rights. And the weird thing about this case is it's put us in a gray area. And I talked a lot about this gray area last night, that if there's no proof you killed your child, you don't have to tell anybody where your child is at unless it's ordered through the courts. Now, CPS, I would have thought would have instantly went to the courts and got a court order to make this woman produce her child, or at least tell where the child was at so that the child's welfare could be checked on. Could she be trying to protest her daughter from protect her daughter from other relatives? Yes. I mean, it's possible, but it's also possible she chopped her up. You know what I'm saying? And we just don't know because she has some mental health issues. We just don't know. That's the problem. And this is where the gray area lies, right? In situations like this. And there's no laws that really protect children that are in this situation. Now, if there was a big blood puddle in the house, of course they could arrest her. They could go, well, there's enough evidence in this house to presume that this child has been hurt or murdered and be arrested. But there's no really reason to arrest her for child neglect because we can't, because we don't know if the child is being neglected. You know, she hasn't said anything and she hasn't been charged with anything. The fear is the same thing the police are facing now. It does just say we go in and they charge her with something, which I believe when she gets charged, she's going to be charged with just simple obstruction of justice, right? And she is going to lawyer up and continue not to say anything. I think she's going to force the hand of the police to prove that this child is deceased, right? So as soon as the judge orders her to produce this child, unless the judge orders her to produce the child, sentences her to jail until she comes up with the child, which I think is what should have happened already. Okay, already that they should have been in front of a judge. That judge should have immediately treated this as an emergency, brought her instantly into court, and ordered her to produce this child in a certain amount of time. Okay, now usually people say 3 days. You got 3 days to come up with something, or you go to jail and then you sit in jail until you can produce something. The only thing about that is this is where we fall into people, everybody that's constitutionalist, even me. I believe in the Constitution of you can't sit in jail for a misdemeanor crime longer than the crime is deemed worthy of the time. Okay. Like we can't give you 20 years on a misdemeanor. Right. So you have to go by the same guidelines you would treat everybody else with on that same crime. And the most obstruction of justice is going to carry in jail is probably 30 days to be fair. Right. The average person that gets the obstruction of justice charge, if they go to jail for it, which is rare, people even go to jail for obstruction of justice. It's usually a fine, maybe some probation, 30 days. So you can only hold this lady so long. And to me, we have to change this. We have to change this to protect children from parents that will simply just will not talk or refuse to cooperate with the police. But even though they have that right, okay? So technically, let's just say technically, this woman has done nothing wrong. But every minute that goes past, this little girl is in more and more danger. And like I said, a lot of detectors tests, somebody said they're useless. They're absolutely true. Um, so what do? We can't lie detectors tests. If she's not talking, she's damn sure not going to take a lie detectors test because you would have to answer questions on a lie detector test, and she's refusing to answer any questions. She ain't giving them nothing but this is my name. This is who I am. Yes, she's my daughter. That is insane. They have to prove a crime has been committed with nothing, right? And every day is just going by ticking and ticking and ticking. And I think this sets a since it's getting so much national attention, I think it sets a bad example for other people that are watching this, like other people that are thinking about getting rid of their kids possibly. And believe it or not, there's a lot of people in this country and this globally that hurt their children. And it's so hard to believe that a mother could do something horrible to their kids, but we've seen it. We've seen it so many times from Casey Anthony to Leilani Simon to recently the Amish lady that drove her child into the lake, right? And was praising the Lord and killing her kid at the same time. I mean, you would think, hey, you done raised this child for this many years. Why all of a sudden just hurt the child? But and I guess it has something totally to do with whatever's going on in her mind and possibly her not getting the help that she needs because it's hard to get that help when you cut off everybody around you because people are saying even in her neighborhood that this woman stayed in the house all the time. She didn't allow Melodee outside to play with the neighborhood kids. So they would just when they would either come or go and mostly they were in the house. So it's hard for people to know you need help to help you, right? Because I'm sure a lot of your family would help you if you hadn't cut them off and they ain't had access to you. Even her own mother saying she ain't had access to the child in the grandmother in over 2 years, right? She's cutting all family off on both sides. Can't her family report her missing? Then an Amber Alert could go out. Gypsy B, for an Amber Alert, you have to have a vehicle. You have to have a kidnapper. There has to be an abduction. So this little girl does not fall under the category for Amber Alerts. We need to fix that too. Just like there's a gray area in this case, there's a gray area in the Amber Alert system. They pick and choose what kids they want to give an Amber Alert to. And the people in charge of the Amber Alert, they don't want to disturb people because it goes out to your phone vibrates, and it pops a little message up there. Well, let me tell you this. Telemarketers don't have no problem disturbing you. They'll call you 172 times. They'll send you 3,000 text messages. They don't care if they disturb you. But when something's important, the people that are in charge of that be like, well, we only send them out when, because we don't want to act, we don't want to disturb people. Listen, I don't think anybody cares. I'd rather get 3,000 Amber Alerts on my phone than 3,000 people trying to sell me extended car warranties. Okay. Block all them people, figure out a way with the system, and you can send me all the damn Amber Alerts you want for every missing kid in the country. I wouldn't care. If you could just stop some of these telemarketers from calling my damn phone. So they act like it's a big deal to protect our kids. Right. And who would be like, oh hell no, they better not don't send me no Amber Alerts. Not no parent would do that. Maybe if you didn't have kids, you might find it a little okay. Well, I ain't got kids. Why am I worried about these other people's kids? They should have watched their kids. There may be some people like that in our world that need to be punched in the face, right? But a normal, good, decent human being is going to be like, okay, oh no, let me look at this, just in case I see her or see him or her, you know, them day in 2015, just don't know. It could be them a day, but either way, we need to be able to see it. I don't think it's that bothersome, right? I think it should be done more. And we see some kids get certain treatments and other kids don't. But in this world we live in, everybody's equal. All these kids are worth the same thing, right? They're worth their weight in gold. They're all important. Every single one of them. There's not one child out here that's more important than another child. Just like my life is no more important than your life or the next person in the chat rooms. All our lives are the same. We're all important. Every life matters. Every kid matters. All of it matters. Exactly the same. It's weird, especially in the media, and I hate to say it, but a lot of blonde hair, blue eyed kids, they get a lot of attention. If it's a big deal, let a college student go missing. Okay. Let a kid from a major university go missing. Oh, it's huge news. It's huge news. Little Timmy down the street in the hood goes missing. It ain't a big deal. But you let somebody from the University of Virginia or UCLA go missing. Oh my God. Every news channel in the world blows it up like it's the biggest thing since the 99-cent value meal at Mickey D's. Okay. They just blow it like it's huge. But you got cases like Jack and Lily Sullivan, right? Just right across the border, but they ain't Americans. So American news are like, F those kids. F them. Right? They got no mainstream media. You got two beautiful kids go missing. You didn't see it on court TV. You didn't see Banfield talking about it. You didn't see Nancy Grace talking about it. You don't see nobody talking about it. Like, I guess American TV and news, it don't matter unless you're American kids. Or unless, like I said, you blonde hair, blue eyed, and you from a rich family like John Benet Ramsey, or you're a missing college student that they can hype up and get millions of views and clicks off of, because the news itself is the worst tragedy pimps on the whole fucking planet. Okay. Because it's all about ratings to them. That's why they don't do it. They looked at Jack and Lil like, Americans don't care. Why should we talk about these kids? Shameful. Is you should talk about them because they're two missing kids. Even if you give them a little bit of time, it's better than not giving them nothing, right? So you better hope if your kid goes missing in this world, you're an important person, because if not, it seems like mainstream media don't give a shit. That's just how I feel about it. So that's why I look at it like, these cases people don't want to cover, these are the ones we should be talking about. And of course, we're going to talk about the mainstream ones because they're in the mainstream. They're shoved down our throats, right? That's what's all the news is talking about. So me, like I said, every kid is equal. Every kid needs some attention, and especially the kids that we think are alive, but it's very rare in true crime we get any good news, right? And this week we did get some good news, and that was the arrest of Stacey Wandra in the Michael Monkey Vaughan case. Man, that's amazing, right? It's amazing. I'm still, when I say it, I'm like, damn, I can't believe this day has come, because for so long I was losing hope, right, that this arrest would ever come, because we watch these monsters just walk free and do YouTube tours like they were Motley Crue. Okay. Jumping on the channels. And it seems like all these bad people do that. They go on tour. And I call it a tour because it's from one channel to another channel to another channel. And it's like, that's their tour. Like they Motley Crue. Like, we're going to be in Vegas tonight. We're going to be on True Crime with so-and-so. Then tomorrow night we'll be on True Crime with this person. I was upset Elijah View didn't get the attention. Poor baby. Now, I thought Elijah View got some attention, and I believe this. His family kept that attention alive. They kept out there searching. They never stopped. Elijah View had a great family. That is important in situations like this. family and community are the most important thing when it comes to finding somebody or getting justice. And I'm gonna use this as a prime example because I tell you, people, every case that I've been on and I've worked on, I've learned something from. And one that stood out to me really heavily and still waiting for this person to go to court is Mata. She was a nurse in DC and spoke probably very little English. Her whole community is, I believe they're Indian, not Native American, okay, but Indian from India. And I could be wrong. She could be from another country, but somewhere of that descent. And these people, they wasn't getting much justice in the beginning. But these people, when the police wasn't helping them, they were protesting out in front of the police station. They were demanding senators and governors, and they were reaching out to everybody above the police. So when they had these gatherings, you were having people from the House of Representatives, the damn senator, the damn governor. They were going to these people and telling these people, hey, we're not getting the help of the police. And these people were putting pressure on the police. And next thing you know, without a body, her husband is arrested. Okay, they do find some evidence, some bloody carpet, a couple knives that appeared to have blood on it. Wealthy Indian, Dolly. She wasn't wealthy. I mean, she was a nurse. She wasn't wealthy. Now, she may have had some wealthier supporters out there, but it was their community, their whole community. And I understand when people come here, like even our Latino brothers and sisters, they start their own little communities inside of our communities, because a lot of people, when they come here, they don't really understand the language, or they're not completely speaking the language. So they move into neighborhoods where they have friends. Like we have a whole community of immigrants right around the corner, and basically all of them live in the same area because they can communicate. They start to open their own little stores. They start to build their own little communities inside of our communities as they learn the culture, right? So it was the same thing with Mata. All these people are really good people, right? They were so thankful for help. They didn't care who you were, where you was from. They were just glad you was there to support Mata. Okay. And like I said, these people, when the police wasn't doing what they want, they went over the police. And then they just kept going up the ranks of people. And then, of course, we seen the arrest come, right? They arrested the husband. He still has to stand trial and stuff up in DC for her death. But like I'm saying, these people knew. Like, you didn't see, let's say Sebastian Rogers. You didn't see his family doing that when the police had nothing. You didn't see them going out and putting pressure on the governor and the mayor and trying to bring in all these high officials to help them. No, they would just go, well, the police are doing a great job. Thanking the police. Well, you're thanking the police that'll felon you, right? Just like Malaya Brooks. She came out thanking everybody for searching and how they wouldn't stop searching for the kids, yet she ain't never searched for the kids. She's thanking the police that have failed her children and not made an arrest. My kid is missing. I may thank you for looking, but I ain't going to say you're doing a great job. You know what a great job is? Bringing the kid home. That's a great job. Why would I tell you you're doing a great job when you don't have anything? What's the newest update? Oh, we got nothing. Great job. Oh, hell no. That's a shitty job where I'm from. Yeah, I want answers, right? The people demand answers. Dolly, the one earlier, hold on. I'm trying to keep up with what y'all are saying in the chat because I'm just getting it tonight. In North Carolina is a 15-year white female, strawberry blonde hair, blue eyes, County, North Carolina. Look it up. The Amber Alert said abducted. Okay, I will have to check into that. I didn't get that Amber Alert. I'm right here in Virginia. So I'll have to definitely look it up and share her picture and all that good stuff. Here's my thing. Abducted is when I start to worry. Now, I always tell people I don't cover missing runaway kids. Usually when you're 13, 14, 15 years old, girls meet dudes and they run off. right? And they'll go lay up with some guy for a little while, and usually those cases are okay. I always tell parents like that, that's where you need to hire a private investigator. Your kid, now if your kid was abducted, that's a totally different story, right? If a stranger came by and grabbed your kid, then I would worry. Then that's a case that Dolly would cover. Now, if a baby daddy don't bring their child home on Monday like they supposed to, I don't sweat that stuff. That's a custody dispute, right? Work that out with the courts, right? But I'll tell you this, they issue more Amber Alerts for fathers that don't bring their kids home on time than they do kidnappings. Every Amber Alert I get is parental abduction. Them are the ones that I worry the least about. Now, some people be like, Dolly, well, you got to take these parental abductions seriously, right? Because there are some cases, like remember the dude that didn't bring his girls home and he took them out in the woods and he unalived them, and then he basically went up in the woods, unalived himself. They just found his body. What was his name? Anybody want to help me out in the chat? I mean, it does happen, so we got to take them serious, but usually the odds of that happening are usually pretty slim. Usually it's just people fighting over custody of their kids. Now, anybody that's went through a tough divorce and had kids, you probably, Travis Decker, thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. You're on top of it. But usually people that's been in divorces or bad relationships and you have kids, you've went through this yourself, right? Even me, me and my baby mama, when Tiff was a baby, we had joint custody. And if you didn't show up, or if she got pissed off or anything, it was a violating a court order. Now, let me tell you, I can't count the times I've been in handcuffs for violating a court order. Okay. But I went to jail one time for not picking my child up, for not picking her up, right? Because I was sick. And my baby's mother called me and I told her I was sick. And she said, this violates the court order. And I said, F you and your court order. I shouldn't have said that. I should have never said that. Right. She went right down there, played that shit, recorded it, played it for the magistrate. 45 minutes later, you know where Dolly was sitting? In jail. Okay. I was sitting in jail, sick. Okay. Really sick, truly sick. So when I see things like that go out, I laugh at it now, but at the time, because my daughter's grown, right? So we get along great, me and her mother now, but at that time we wasn't. She was mad at me. So anything to be mean and spiteful, she was kind of doing, right? And we just wasn't getting along. And so it made it, it's some things you shouldn't say, right? The whole F you and the judge thing, I shouldn't have said. That shit was played in court. Okay. I was like, that's hard to explain when you just said it and they listening to you say it, right? So I see these things in the world, right? So I understand it. So every time a Amber Alert comes across and a dad has the kid and didn't pick the kid up or didn't bring him back on time and now he's a kidnapper, right? I don't usually sweat that stuff. Sometimes, like I said, it could be bad, like your Travis Decker stuff, but most of the time it's just a dude that didn't look at his watch, or he's fishing and be like, well, I'll take you home in a couple hours. Your mom will be all right. And then the mom's like, oh, hell no. And then next thing you know, you in jail with felony charges because not bringing your kid back at the exact moment your child's supposed to be home. A lot of that happens to guys. And I know it firsthand because like I said, I've sat there for things similar to that. And now look, everything's great, right? So they need to put out more Amber Alerts. I don't think that was the moral of this. There's a gray area in these kid cases, right? And there's the Amber Alert system itself needs to be fixed. Now, how we take care of these things, I'm not an expert on law or how to change laws or create. Can one person do that? I guess if you put up enough fuss, get enough support, take it to your local senator or governor and be like, hey, this law needs to be in effect, and push to change the laws. I mean, that's like, sounds like a lot of work, right? But it does need to be done across the board, especially for our Amber Alerts. And it ain't, I just don't like when people pick and choose what kids are important and what kids ain't, right? By your status level, or if you friends with the police, or if you ain't friends with the police. I just think across the board, it should be equal. Life Lessons by Dolly. Absolutely. Right. Yeah, and I got plenty of life lessons, you know. I gotta touch the stove on everything. I learned everything in life the hard way, okay? Because I'm a big old knucklehead, so I gotta learn things the hard way. But like I said, nothing bad ever happened to me, and everything happens for a reason, and things work themselves out over time. But yeah, child disputes and stuff like that. It's and then we get people like that never go to jail, right? That just don't go to jail, and you know they're lying, but the police can't prove they're lying. And, you know, I touched on, you know, Jack and Lily earlier about, you know, the police failing children, right? And America not caring about our brothers and sisters in Canada, right? I think that's terrible, because if a kid goes missing here, there's a possibility that that kid could be in Canada. Wouldn't you want Canada to share that American child? You would. But if we ain't sharing their children, why should they share our children? You see what I'm saying? Because the only thing that separates us is an invisible line. That's insane to me. No one is talking about Sebastian anymore. The locals have even stopped. Maybe the content creators who claimed they and missing kids. Well, here's my thing: is all these people that said, like you said, nobody's talking about Sebastian, that said they were Sebastian's army. That as viewers, right, that have supported people like this, you need to stop supporting those people. If they don't, you give people enough time, they'll show you who they really are. Right? There's an old saying, give them enough rope, they'll hang themselves. And I knew these people were going to abandon Seth Rogers. I knew this, right? But if Seth Rogers plays his cards right, he might be able to get back with Michaela right now, from what I hear. Okay? Because he seemed to be more worried about that than he did about his own kid missing, which was shameful and horrible. And I think the reason people ain't talking about Sebastian Rogers is because the actions of his own family. These people made it hard to talk about this child. They threatened people with lawsuits and strikes, and were behind the scenes trying to take people's channels down and doing dirty, foul, underhanded shit, and had a hit list for YouTubers that wasn't doing anything but spreading awareness for their child. It's almost like they didn't want people out here talking about this child. And you know what? Technically, they won, right? Because there's nobody really talking about Sebastian Rogers anymore. And so they got exactly what they want. That's not true. Smiley still talks about Sebastian. I didn't say everybody. I didn't say everybody. There's some good people out here. That's what I'm saying. Judge these people by their actions. If they say, hey, we're going to be here for the long haul, and then they ain't, that shows you. Okay, that shows you that hey, they just cared about what was hot at that moment, what was bringing them attention at that moment, not the smaller cases. And if you care about one kid, you should care about all kids. Let me use this as a prime example, because this really pissed me off. And I talked about this the other day. I started the Facebook group, and it was the lost, help the lost and the missing. But as certain cases are big, or the newest case, I put the search for Sebastian Rogers. Okay. And then Sebastian Rogers died down. It's been a year and a half. Ain't nothing on Sebastian Rogers. So instead of starting a new group, I changed it search for Jack and Lily, because we were focusing on Jack and Lily at that time. And then I changed it to search for Melodee Buzzard. So it's a group of thousands of people that I create on YouTube. So as I'm trying to get these stories out there, I'm able to share these images with thousands of people because it takes time to build these groups. You can't just build a damn a group overnight. Okay. So it takes time to build these groups. And people were getting mad over what the name was, not what the cause is. Okay. And just being really terrible towards me because, and here's my thing, in my group, you can post whatever child is missing you want. It's always been like that. You can talk about Sebastian, even here, open discussion. You can talk about anything you want to talk about. Just because we like when you usually we ask you to stay on topic when you call in, but you're more than welcome to get in the chat and talk about Sebastian Rogers, damn any missing kid you want, or bring attention to a missing kid, right? You yourself. But so many people look for reasons to be negative when they're not doing anything themselves, right? So I look at things like this. If you're going to be negative towards somebody that is doing things to help, at least be helping yourself. So we're on the same playing field, right? Now, if I'm over here helping and you over here doing nothing but running your damn mouth, that ain't helping the cause. The only people that should be able to speak on you are people that are doing the same thing as you. They should be the only one criticizing you, right? That's like being in the NBA and then the dude on the other team's like, man, you know, you should probably try this or try that because he's another basketball player. Okay. If you ain't another content creator, maybe you should leave it up to content creators to criticize each other, right? Because if you ain't in the game, why are you acting like you are? Right. So I just think if you're going to say something about me, be on a fair playing field, right? And it's about finding all missing kids to me, all missing kids. And some people, they just care about one case. They don't care about all the kids. It's just Jack and Lily's the most important. Jack and Lily is important, but there's no such thing as the most important. These kids are the same. They're the same. All these kids should be loved. They should be all cared for. They should all get attention. Every last single one of them. And that's been my biggest gripe. And I don't usually get mad at my own people, but that made me mad. It generally did, you know, and I'm a nice, loving, caring, forgiving ass person, but that truly made me mad. You like tater tots? I like tater tots. You know, I like them with chili and cheese. You know, I don't really like ketchup on tater tots. I know it's just like a mushed up French fry, but for some reason, I've never been big on ketchup and tater tots. Okay. Chili and cheese on tater tots, I like. I can't eat a tater tot like it's a French fry. Some people treat tots just like a fry. I can dip my fries in ketchup, but I cannot dip tater tots in ketchup. Is anybody else like that? Or is it just me? And I don't know why that person said they like tater tots, but since it's open discussion tonight, that's allowed. Okay. That's allowed. You're allowed to like tater tots. All right. I like corn dogs. Okay. So, but I can use ketchup, mustard on a corn dog, but for some reason I cannot dip a tater tot in ketchup. So if you're a part of my group, or if you plan on joining my group right now, I didn't know you couldn't change the name for 28 days. I thought you could just kind of change the name around, but you can only change the name of the group now every 28 days on Facebook. So I don't like to give in to make mean people happy, right? But I guess I'll name it something that's general, you know. I didn't know, you know, so many people would get so butthurt and not give a damn about this other missing kid. Like they don't know the story, so they don't care about it. But why not just take a minute to learn the story, right? Like baby Emmanuel, just as important he's found. He's just as important as finding Sebastian Rogers. He's just as important as finding Melanie. Just because he's dead, allegedly, according to his father, okay, which goes to court tomorrow, he's just as important. His story matters, right? You like plain, now everybody wants to talk about how they like tater tots in the chat. I like plain tots. loaded chili and cheese. See how easy some people are just sidetracked, right? They're like, oh, okay, we talking about kids, but I like tater tots, right? They just in their own world and only care about what they care about. I get it, I understand it, right? But I don't think, you know, I'm not going to dwell on what people said about changing the name. It ain't that important, right? But it's just the fact that you didn't care about other missing kids. It's like, do you really? If you care about missing kids, you should care about all missing kids, right? Not just some missing kids. That's a lot like the news. Now, me, I don't have room. I'm only one person, so I can't cover every missing child. And so I tell people I focus on children that I believe there's some type of foul play involved. Okay. I believe there's something going on with the parents, or there's not an outside force working, right? Or there may be an outside force, but usually the stories that I cover are stories that I believe there's some type of foul play involved in. Like, you know, your Cody Bigsby's, your Michael Monkey Vaughns, your Quentin Simons, your Summer Wells. These stories are the ones that I focus on because I believe there's more to the story than a child that just wandered off or a child that just ran away. Um, I care deeply about all of the missing children I hear about. I'll follow you and PJ daily. I have been commenting on the Melodee Buzzard case tonight. Yeah, and you know we jump around, right? And some people think, you know, well, did you stop talking about this kid? No, no. I will always fall back to even the first case I started with was Summer Wells. You know, Don and Candace not getting. I follow all of it constantly. You know, I tend to talk about it. Look, we just did a video on Summer Wells, and I started with Summer Wells 4 years ago. Right, we haven't forgot about Sebastian Rogers, right? And we haven't forgot about any of these kids. I tend to stay the long haul, and I think my actions. That's what I'm saying. Watch people long enough, you'll see who they are. You'll see who's is really about what's going on and who is just here right this moment because this is a big story. Now, I ain't saying all people are bad, like all of Sebastian's army was bad, but I am saying it was surrounded by a lot of bad people that didn't really care. And you can look at Seth's team, none of them people cared. Name somebody on Seth's team that gave a damn, right? And I ain't here to talk bad about other YouTubers or anything like that, but let's be honest. Name somebody on Seth's team that actually gave a shit. I'm patient. I'm patient, right? I am so patient. He hung out with every bad person he could. Seth may have cared, right? He may have cared, and then he got caught up in the mix, right? Um, Good Lord, I have enough issues. Hello, Dumpling. Yeah, now listen, if you guys want to come up and discuss, I believe at the top of this of the chat is the panel. You can come up and join me if you want to. Okay. You don't have to show yourself. You just have to show yourself in the backstage. And listen, I look like a gremlin. So if you look like a gremlin, I'm not judging, right? It ain't nobody uglier than me. So just show me who you are in the backstage and then cut your camera off and I'll bring you up here and you can join in on the conversation. Now, while we're doing that, I want to go over this video, and this video is from the enforcement files, and this is going to be on Melodee Buzzard. We're going to kind of jump around a little bit tonight, and we're going to tap in on all the top cases. Okay. Oh. All right, let me share the screen.
from California to Nebraska. The mother returned alone without Melodee, and she refuses to tell investigators where her daughter is. Right now, as you're watching this, Melodee Buzzard could be anywhere. She
Come
could
on
be in
up,
danger.
Dumpling.
She could be crying for help. She could be wondering why no one is coming to find her, but people are looking. The FBI, the Santa Barbara County Sheriff's Office, and investigators across multiple states are working around the clock to find this little girl. Critical. If finding missing children matters to you, if cases like this break your heart and make you want answers, hit that subscribe button right now and turn on notifications, because I'm about to take you inside this.
Okay, give me a second. I want to sub this channel up because I agree with this guy already. All right, hold on. Now, if you're a good human being out there, this is what you should be doing, right? See that subscribe button? You go over there, you click it, subscribe. There's a little arrow. You click down on that, and then you click all. Okay, so now when he goes live or he makes a video, the enforcement files, which he has 77,000 subscribers, good size channel, same size channel as Dolly. Oh, I have to work at 6 a.m. The tater tots got me to pick up my phone. Okay. The tater tots. I blame it on the tots every time. It's always the tots. Okay. So that's what you do if you're a good YouTube viewer out there. You go ahead and, oh, yeah, let's like his video. He has 4.2K likes on this and 120,000 views. He's in the algorithm, right? That's what happens when people like your videos. I always ask you guys to like the videos, but y'all just leave me hanging. You know, y'all like, hell with Dolly. He's a goofball. I ain't gonna like his video. Even though I bring the same awareness and information, I just don't get the love for some reason. I don't get the love. I give it. I just don't get it.
Active investigation, show you the disturbing evidence, explain what law enforcement is doing, and tell you exactly how you can help find Melodee Buzzard. This isn't just another missing person case. This is a race against time to find a vulnerable child whose own mother may know exactly where she is, but refuses to cooperate with the people trying to save her. Stay with me through this entire investigation, because I'm going to reveal the timeline of Melodee's disappearance and the critical 3-day window, why investigators believe someone disguised her appearance with a wig, the surveillance footage that provides our best clues, the 500-mile road trip that holds the key to finding her, why her mother is being called uncooperative with law enforcement, the multi-state search effort currently underway, and most importantly, what every American can do right now to help bring Melodee home. Every second counts. Every pair of eyes matters. Every lead could save this child's life. Let's find.
And I just want to see what his take is on it, because you see, I just went over all those things you could do to help, the timeline of everything, what her mother's doing and what she's not doing. It's pretty bad. It's pretty scary, because if nothing was bad, let's just say nothing was bad in this case, she would just go, well, she's with my friend in Nebraska. I'm going back to get her. Why would she refuse to talk unless there's something to hide?
Melodee Buzzard. The school report that started everything October 14th, 2025. A school administrator in Lompoc, California, made a phone call that would launch a
I mean, I don't know if this guy's AI or not. AI is pretty good. A lot of people saying he sounds like AI. I have no clue. I was just looking for somebody else that was discussing what we've been discussing, and it was a recent video, and I was just seeing if he had anything that I didn't know in this case. But so far, he's just basically went over the same things we've been discussing.
State FBI investigation. Melodee Buzzard, a 9-year-old student, had been absent from school for an extended period, not a day or two, an extended absence that raised enough concern for school officials to contact law enforcement. This is the first critical point. Schools are often the front line in protecting vulnerable children. Teachers and administrators see children every day.
Well, why don't anybody ever think I'm AI? Okay. How y'all know I ain't a robot? Dolly could be fake. Okay. Do I not got AI movement? Or am I just too goofy to be like, look, they ain't no way they made AI that damn stupid, right? How y'all know I'm not AI? Give me Why is Dolly not AI? If you had to say that dude's definitely not AI, why would you think I'm not AI? I could be part of the Matrix. Okay. Any good examples? Any good examples? Dolly, stop it. I'm telling you, I could be AI. I might not even be real. I may be a program. You're too real. They don't make redneck AI. Okay, how about that one? They don't got rednecks. Okay, AI. They skipped out the South. Okay, the damn AI computer was made in the North. They don't got redneck AI. Not yet. Okay, they haven't got to that level. We are all programmed, right? Maybe so. We're all part of the matrix. What's real? What ain't? Or is this AI inside of an AI program? All right. Maybe we're all AI, and this is AI that AI has created. Anybody thought about that? Matrix inside of the matrix. We've gained so much technology within inside of the matrix that we created our own matrix. So if he's AI, are we God to AI? Think about that. Are we gods? If we're creating alternate realities with people that don't know that they're a program, are we gods? Think about it. It's deep, right? That's pretty damn deep. We're all screwed. Yep. So when you look up to your God and you're praying to somebody, is this dude praying to Dolly? Little Dolly God, could you please? Like, I didn't write the program. I got no control, right? You would have to go to the person that wrote the program to be the Dolly God. Okay. You would have to go to Chat GPT. Is Chat GPT a God? Your eyes don't look right. Look at that. Listen, they don't make AI this ugly. Okay. Proof. I'm real. I'm real.
They notice patterns. They recognize when something is wrong. When a child suddenly stops coming to school with no explanation, alarm bells ring. The school did exactly what it should have done. It reported the concern to the Santa Barbara County Sheriff's Office. The home visit. A mother without answers. Deputies responded to Melodee's home in Lompoc, a city in Santa Barbara County on California's central coast. They encountered 35-year-old Ashley Buzzard, Melodee's mother, but Melodee was not at the home. The deputies asked the obvious question, "Where is your daughter?" Ashley Buzzard could not or would not provide a verifiable explanation for Melodee's whereabouts. Read that again. A mother whose 9-year-old daughter has been missing from school for an extended period cannot tell law enforcement where her child is. Not she's with her father, not she's with relatives, not she's at a friend's house. No verifiable explanation. The at-risk designation. Within hours, the Santa Barbara County Sheriff's Office made a critical determination. Melodee Buzzard is an at-risk missing person. This designation is not used lightly. It means investigators believe the missing person faces potential danger due to age and vulnerability, circumstances of the disappearance, potential threats to their safety, medical or psychological needs, and lack of resources to care for themselves. A 9-year-old child, by definition, cannot care for herself. She cannot get a job, rent a place to live, buy food, or protect herself from danger. An at-risk 9-year-old who has been missing for weeks is a child in crisis. The car rental business, October 7th, 2025. Through their investigation, detectives obtained surveillance footage from a local car rental business in Lompoc dated October 7th, 2025. The footage shows Melodee Buzzard, but it also shows something deeply disturbing. The Santa Barbara County Sheriff's Office described what the surveillance captured, and I quote, "In the photo, Melodee is wearing a hooded sweatshirt with the hood pulled up and what appears to be a wig that is darker and straighter than her natural hair." Let me emphasize this. A 9-year-old child was dressed in a disguise. Why disguise a child? There are very few innocent explanations for disguising a child's appearance.
I think this is a real person. Y'all seem to think the guy is AI. I think he's a real person. I mean, I don't have no proof to that. I mean, what makes you real in this world, I guess, but I think it's a real person.
Innocent possibilities, unlikely in this context, might include Halloween costume preparation, but this was October 7th, weeks before Halloween, and at a car rental business. Playing dress up, but why at a business location during a rental transaction? Medical reasons, but no such explanation has been provided. Concerning possibilities consistent with the evidence include to prevent the child from being recognized, to conceal the child's identity from witnesses, to make it harder to identify the child in surveillance footage, and to facilitate removal of the child without detection. The sheriff's office noted investigators believe the wig may have been used to.
What about like JLR? He don't blink. Is he AI? Okay. Spirit fingers. Breaking news. Breaking news. The man don't blink at all.
Alter her appearance. And then they added another critical detail. Detectives also note that Ashley is known to wear wigs. This suggests that Ashley Buzzard may have experience using wigs to alter appearance and may have used that knowledge to disguise her own daughter.
But why disguise? Here's my thing. Why would you disguise her? There's really no threat of anybody taking her at that time, unless you believe there's a threat of somebody doing something to your daughter. Like, that's like Tiff coming over tomorrow and me putting a disguise on her. Like, why would I disguise her? Be like, look, Tiff, you want to go out to dinner? Hold on, you got to wear this wig. You got to wear this outfit. Dolly, stop. You're teasing us, right? You know it's AI. I don't know it's AI. I can't really tell. I'm dead honest. I don't know. Dolly, we know you're not AI. You have too much sarcasm in you. I guess. I guess. We know I ain't AI, right? Like I said, they don't make redneck AI. Not that I know of. They might. People say it's the hand movement. Watch the hands. Watch the hands. Right? Like, you got people that blink a lot. You got people that don't blink. JLR. He should be like the dry eye guy commercial, right? That bitch don't blink. I'm like, is he gonna blink today? Right? Like, this dude's eyes don't blink at all. Is he reptilian?
What this tells investigators, the wig is a massive red flag for several reasons. First, premeditation. This wasn't a spontaneous decision.
I'm not going to give you guys. He said, give us the finger so we know you're real. I love you guys. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that to you in the world. I wouldn't do that to you on the internet. I'm a lover. Okay. I love my people here.
Someone obtained a wig for a child, brought it to the car rental location, and put it on Melodee before entering the business. This shows planning.
Speaking of being a good person, okay, I have some mods, right? Listen, I love my mods. I got the best mods ever, but I got some mods that have been associating with some really bad people on the internet. Channels that I don't look at as good channels. And to be a mod here, if you associate with bad people, it don't set a good example for us, you know? So if you a mod out there, man, and you're on and taking part in channels, especially channels that bash what I'm doing, okay? This is nobody for anybody in particular, just in general. If you one of my mods and you're on one of these channels that shit talk me and you have a mod wrench here, you're probably going to lose that mod wrench. Okay. You could be the greatest mod ever while you're here. We don't support that bad behavior. We don't support the bullying. We don't support the grouping up on people and attacking people. We don't do that. And I don't like my name or people that are associated with me to be associated in those types of behaviors. Make sense? Now, I'm not trying to tell you who you can watch. You watch whoever you want. But you can't watch whoever you want and be a mod here, okay? You cannot participate in all this bad shit that's going on the internet and then come here and be a mod. You can't. We only want good people here. We don't want the bad people. We don't want the bad behavior. We don't want the mean-heartedness. We don't want any of that here, okay? So like I said, you can watch whoever you want to watch. And you're more than welcome to come in this room. You don't even got to leave. It's just you can't be a mod here taking part in bad behaviors and then coming over here and being a mod. Okay. Does that make sense to you guys out there? And I'm not trying to be mean to anybody. I'm just trying to say we don't support that stuff. Right. And I want my mods on my channel to be good people that have good values and good morals. All right. And that's important that when people come into our room, they're coming into a room full of good people. They're not coming into a room full of people that just bully and hate and we pick and joke a little bit. Don't get me wrong, but there's a big difference from picking and joking to being really hateful and bad people. Okay. And I've noticed some of my mods have been taking part in some of this really stuff that I don't approve of. And I'm just letting you know that's perfectly fine, but you can't do that and be a mod here. Okay. And it ain't nothing. If I take your rents, don't get all mad. It's just that you're doing these things and that's not stuff that you can do here. All right. And that ain't what we represent here. And my mods out here, y'all are an extension of me. Okay. I expect y'all to treat people good, be loving, be welcoming. People say crazy stuff. I expect you to time them out, that type of stuff. And we're not going to have people that take part in bullying and bashing and things like that as a part of this channel that have control of stuff like that. All right. I just want to get that out of the way. Moving forward. All right. Right now, you good. Moving forward, I see stuff like that. You just can't. We just can't have it.
Second, deception. The purpose of the disguise was clearly to deceive, to make Melodee look different from her natural appearance. Why would that be necessary unless the person disguising her anticipated that people would later be looking for a child matching her real description? Third, control. A 9-year-old doesn't typically insist on wearing a wig to a car rental business. This suggests adult control over the child's appearance and actions. Fourth, consciousness of wrongdoing. People disguise children when they know or fear that what they're about to do is wrong and could result in intervention. The critical 3-day window. Through painstaking investigative work, detectives have established a critical timeline. October 7th, 2025, Ashley, Buzzard, and Melodee are captured on surveillance at the car rental business. Melodee is wearing a disguise. Ashley rents a vehicle. They depart Lompoc, California, October 7th through 10, 2025. 3-day period during which Ashley and Melodee travel. Route includes California, multiple states, Nebraska, Kansas, and back to California. This represents approximately 1,500 miles each way, 3,000 miles round trip. October 10th, 2025, Ashley Buzzard is seen returning to her Lompoc residence. She is driving the same rental vehicle she departed with on October 7th. Melodee is not in the car. What happened during those 3 days? This is the central...
Phone line's open, Chief. Phone line's been open. Oh, no, it ain't. Okay, now it's open. Phone lines are now open. Yeah, I'll open the phone lines. Panel's a little dead tonight, so yeah, we'll open the phone lines.
Question of the entire investigation. Where is Melodee? Scenario 1. Melodee is with someone in Nebraska or Kansas. Ashley may have driven Melodee to Nebraska or...
Dolly.
Hey, Dolly, it's Chief.
What up, Chief?
Well, since you just had that discussion about your mods and stuff, I wanted to come clean with you and explain why I did a certain thing. And left at a certain creator. And then
are you a mod here?
No.
Okay. I don't care what you do.
I'm just one of your subs that ain't a member, but he loves you so much that... All right. The reason why I laughed at that creator was because all the other creators were laughing at somebody named BJ. And so I got tired of it. So, when you got 15 million creators stacked up on you, beating the hell out of you every day, and, you imagine how that creator feels
Yeah, I
You
mean,
know?
we don't support that type of behavior here. Definitely
Well,
don't.
that's why
Like
I had to do it.
we don't team up on people. We're not a clique in high school. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. I don't want
No.
my mods taking
Yeah.
part in things like that. I don't that don't represent that ain't something a adult grown person should be doing.
No.
That's high school
And
kid shit.
yeah, I laughed at him for a reason. Now he he uh he tried to twist it up, and when PJ was in his thing, I was in his chat, and I heard what he said to PJ, and he brought the past up about some shit that had nothing to do with him, to open up that can of worms with PJ, and that's how I exposed him right there. We saw the true colors come out.
Yeah, but see, you don't represent our channel. You're not a mod here. I'm talking to my mods. But
No,
the things
I know.
in that defense of him, like if I can't tell you what to say, right? I can't tell you what to say, but there's certain things you probably shouldn't attack on people. You know, like
Right.
if the man, and I don't want to bring this business to my channel, but you know what I'm talking about.
But yeah, I'm apologizing to you that it happened on your channel. It shouldn't
Yeah,
have
but
happened that
here's
way.
the thing: it shouldn't have, because he should have reached out to me. He should have reached
Right.
out to me if he had a problem with something that was going on. He could have saved that for his channel, but he chose not to. He chose to bring
Yep.
it to my channel and attack, because I don't know where you attacked him at. I don't know what channel you were on or whatever you
No,
done.
it was his channel.
Oh, it was on his channel.
Yeah.
Well, then
Yeah.
he should have
It
kept
didn't
that.
happen on your channel.
He
He
shouldn't have
just
rolled.
retaliated on your channel.
Yeah, he shouldn't have done that. Okay, he
Yeah.
absolutely shouldn't have done that right there. And
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's what PJ was trying to get across to him, is like, hey man, you shouldn't have did that here. This channel is about having fun and
Right.
and doing these
Absolutely.
things. But at the same time, you crossed the line that made him cross the line back. Like
Right.
there has to be like, now me as a person, I wouldn't have said the things that you said. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I would have hit him on something else. I wouldn't have went so personal into his private life to attack him. You know, like, and it ain't saying that I don't joke on people up here, but I want to explain this to people. When I joke on you, I'm doing it playing in a jokingly way. I'm not a hateful person. Like, I don't dislike anybody. I don't
Mm-hmm.
hate anybody. So when I'm saying things, I'm saying it jokingly and playing. Now there's a little bit
Right.
of truth in every joke. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
But some things, especially when it comes to people being assaulted, that's not something to really joke about. And
No.
I can understand his anger, but he should have still never poured it over. He should have reached
Right.
out. He should have privately reached out to me and let me know what's going on.
Yep.
But what he did is, you and him both had me in the dark. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know what was
Oh, yeah.
happening. I had no clue to what was even going on, because y'all created that situation somewhere else. So I was not
Mm-hmm.
aware of what was going on. It would have been a lot better, as especially us being men, some
Yes.
filled me in and let me know what the hell was going on.
Right on. Yeah.
Uh, and
Mm-hmm.
and some of this is some of the reasons we're doing what we're doing, right? Because some people are just really hateful people, and I don't want my people, if you represent my channel as a mod here, I don't want that blurring over into other channels,
Right. Yeah.
you know?
Absolutely, dude.
So stuff like this is
Absolutely.
avoided before, because if he looks like it's you, like, because you're on our channel watching our channel, that you represent our channel, you don't. You're not a mod here. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
no, but I got your back, no
I mean,
matter
that's
what,
fine. Yeah,
whether you were on YouTube or not.
yeah. Let me say this to you though. If you was a mod here and you went to that man's channel and you said what you did, I would have took your
Oh,
mod
no, yeah,
wrench.
that's a perfect example of what you just said.
Yeah, I would take your
Yeah.
wrench for being a hateful person. Be like,
Right.
look, we don't do that here. This is not what we're about. And I would have took your wrench.
Right.
You know, so
Yeah.
because
And, yeah.
people look at people sometimes like they
100%.
represent your channel, and
Yep.
I want the people that represent me to have the same morals and the same values as
Right.
me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, like I was saying, it ain't nothing personal against the people. If you're in the drama and you're into the fighting and the going back and the forth and bullying, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah,
You can do
no.
that, but you can't do that and represent my channel at the same time.
Right. No. Hell no. I wouldn't have done that if I was a mod here. Hell no.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't do that anyway, Chief. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't do that
Right.
stuff
You know
anyway.
what?
Don't make it so personal because this is the internet. People say crazy stuff. If
Oh, I know that.
if people are ruffling you that bad, you know, pick back, but don't let hate come from it. Right? There's difference
Mhm.
between joking somebody, like, you know, and being just straight hateful and mean with ill intent.
Right.
So I just thought I'd share that with you. All right.
Yeah, no, absolutely, brother. I mean, that's why I called you up to tell you that.
Yeah,
Because,
and a
you
lot of
know,
these conversations should have probably been, like I said, behind the scenes, like, you know, with whatever he could have called me and told me what you said and stuff like
Mhm.
that. But to leave me in the dark and then it caused a bunch of drama and a bunch of people fighting, it's not really fair to me,
Right.
you know. And I'm
Yep.
trying to avoid
Yeah.
that moving into the future of anything like this happening again.
Right.
So,
Not on my end. It won't.
okay,
Not on my end.
well, that's good to hear. All right.
Uh-uh.
All right. Be a good human being, Chief. All right.
You too.
All right. Peace.
Absolutely. Good night.
Yeah. See, this ain't like, I ain't trying to air all that stuff out of confusion that has happened because of stuff like this before. Like, that's why I'm saying it's important for my mods to not be involved in anything that has to do with any YouTube drama. I was talking to Chief. Now, he said some pretty mean things to somebody, and then that person was a creator, and I guess he said it in their channel. I didn't even know. But then it rolled over into my channel, caused a big blow up, a big fight, and of course, you got people attacking me when I don't have no clue to whatever the hell is even happening. And then we have mods that are supporting, well, not even supporting it, but they're like it's okay, right? It's like it's not. Like if you're gonna be down with us, you cannot be in. I ain't saying who you can watch, right? But you can't participate as a mod over in somebody's channel that are telling people to unsubscribe to my channel, to not follow me, not things. It's just not playing both bases. You're playing first and second. You can only play one base. Dolly,
You gotta be like Doug.
you got to be like Doug. There you
That's
go.
right.
Tell him, Doug.
The only people we pick on is TR.
Oh, T-Rev. Poor T-Rev. He's going through it. You know, I was talking about T-Rev at dinner tonight. I was like, I looked at PJ. I said, should I go co-sign for that man a vehicle?
No.
No, don't. That's what she said too. She looked at me like I was crazy. I was like, man, he's going through it. I guess he wrecked his vehicle. Look, I don't hate T-Rev. You know what I'm saying? I don't hate that guy. I pick on that guy. There's a little bit of a difference. That, like, I have no bad blood towards T-Rev. Apparently, he's wrecked his car. He's fighting with his girlfriend. He got bad credit, and he can't get a car, so he can't work. And he's just, you know, I feel bad for him. I'm like, damn, that sucks.
Well, he's probably talking on the internet while he was driving.
That's what I told PJ. Doug, you sound just like me. I said, if he wasn't rapping, doing a rap album while he's delivering food, he wouldn't wreck so many cars. Right? I don't even know if that's picking on him or if that's just being truthful. I was just like, that ain't good. That ain't good. So yeah, he said
He ought to take up golf like Doug.
there you go. You want to teach him to golf, Doug? You want to invite him out? He's right there in Tennessee with you.
He probably wouldn't get along with Doug.
You don't think so? He'll
No,
rap
I
his new,
went to.
you wouldn't buy his new album, Doug?
No.
No.
I used to call in and talk to him until I found out how he was.
Was he? Well, I'm just saying,
Yeah,
like,
yeah. he used me as a guinea pig.
Well, that's what I was telling people. If you watch people long enough, you'll see who they really are. If you give enough person enough rope, they'll hang themselves.
Well, I've met you and known you for a couple of years now, and you've been the same person the same day I met you.
Yeah, and I ain't saying I'm a great guy. I'm a decent person, and I want people around me to be decent people. And I don't think that's much to ask for. Hey, if you're gonna be around me, be a decent person.
That's it.
Because when
fun.
when you go into
Have
people's
fun.
room and you're a mod here, they're like, "Oh, that's Dolly's mod," and then you're kind of like a little bit of us, right?
Yep.
So I mean, I want my people to be good people. I want us to set a good example. Like, yeah, we'll pick and play, but that's what it is. The hatefulness is terrible, and some some of these channels, they feed on hate. They gotta have it. They gotta be mad. They gotta be putting somebody down. They gotta be shit talking somebody. And there's a lot of difference from playing and being hateful.
Man, if you like that kind of stuff, I don't, go for it.
Like T-Rev. Like, I'll pick on T-Rev, but if that dude was starving, I'd feed him. You know what I'm saying?
I'd buy him a hot dog.
You see what I'm saying? I'd get him a cheeseburger, a Starbucks or something. You know what I'm saying? I'd buy him a beer at the bar and laugh at him. I mean, there's no hate, is what I'm saying. There's no hate on my end. He probably hates me because I pick on him and joke on him a little bit, but I'm just doing it playing. I don't have no ill will towards that guy. I wish everybody nothing but the best in this world.
Especially me. I mean.
Yeah, well, you got it good anyway, Doug. You retired out there golfing.
And won a golfing tournament Saturday.
Did you? You win any money?
$300.
Okay. I'm going to be looking at my Cash App later. I'm just kidding. Doug. I want my 10%. Being Jesus, we both want 10%. All right.
There you go. Me and my partner had $600 together.
You can pay him second. I want mine up front.
But I mean, you got to have fun in the world, brother.
Yeah.
You got to enjoy life.
Yeah.
If you go around being hateful and picking on people all the time, eventually it's going to come back to get you.
Yeah, and it will. Like, listen, I can't say I ain't picked on people and they've picked on me. And I take the picking. I don't like the hate when you're trying to hurt me or purposely hurt me or do something to hurt my channel. Like, joking on me is fine. I have no problem with people. I joke on myself, right? I'm up here talking about I'm ugly. Don't share me in the ugly category of porn. I mean, I get the joking and the playing, right? It's the when it's really hatefulness, like you're really mad at somebody, you're really trying to do things to damage that person. That's when it's wrong.
Just like me, I was joking on you when we had that meet and greet.
Yeah, I don't have no problem with people picking and joking with me. I'm not. I give it, so I expect to get it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not hateful to people. I wouldn't do anything to hurt anybody.
See, just like talking on the phone. Nobody thought I was on dirty time, but when y'all met me, like, Lord, how busy.
Yeah, you're a big dude, Doug. You're a big dude.
Yeah, I about got in trouble with a wife on that.
You might be the biggest dude to ever play golf. Is there have you checked that in the Guinness Book of World Record what the biggest dude is to play golf?
No.
I mean, you might want to look into that. I ain't never seen those 7-footers out there playing golf.
And as ugly as I am,
you are pretty ugly. I mean,
but I'm a hillbilly looking fella.
The thing about this is you're supposed to be ugly. I worked a lot of years to get this ugly. I didn't get this ugly overnight. I was good looking at one point. It took a lot of work to get this ugly.
The thing is, I'm the hills of Tennessee.
I was a cute ass kid. I don't know what happened.
I was good looking for it when I got married. I don't know what happened after I got married.
Yeah, it's at a certain point, it's all downhill from there. I mean,
that's it. I live in the hills of Tennessee. I'm the eyes of Tennessee.
You the eyes?
Yeah, I'm the ones in the hill.
Stacy said I had a whole stream making fun of T, but I don't hate T-Rev. I will come out here and tell you I personally have no problem with T-Rev. Picking and playing and joking.
Until he steps on your toes and tries to put you down.
I was gonna put hashtag still in your hashtags tonight.
Well, I mean, See, like I say, I used to call in and talk to him, but when he used me as that guinea pig that time, then that one dude said he gonna whoop my butt. And I'm like, I believe that. Come on.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said,
T-Rev just didn't know how big I was.
yeah, I don't like. I ain't saying these are good people, but what I'm saying is I don't hate T-Rev. If T-Rev was drowning in a pond, I'd jump in there and save T-Rev. That's the difference. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not throwing the life raft.
You know, I joke and play, but I don't hate that guy. I have nothing personal against anybody up here on YouTube. So picking and playing, you would throw him a noodle, like a pool noodle?
Yeah. Swim
for shore kind of thing?
Yeah, I just throw him a noodle and try to hang on the end of it, pull him out.
Yeah. He got it bad. But I mean, listen, sometimes you bring some of these things on yourself, and if he, you know, at any time if your life is going bad, you can change your life. You just have to do better, you know?
That's it.
You know, maybe this will be a learning lesson from him. And, you know, like I said, I always had to learn things the hard way. I make it clear to everybody, everything I've learned, I learned the hard way. He might be like me and have to learn shit the hard way.
Well, it's like when we was playing golf, everybody asked me, how do you do it? And I said, what's that? You don't let nothing bother you. I said, I have fun.
Yeah.
Whether I lose or whether I win, I enjoy it.
Yeah. I don't let a lot of things bother me. Some stuff gets to me. I'm human. You know what I'm saying? I try to brush everything off, but sometimes things stick that I'm like, I can't believe people said that to me, because I just think people say things to you up here on the internet that they wouldn't say to you in person. Like you're not a real human being. Like I'm a character on a show they watch.
Yeah, but
you know,
I'm the type of, if I say it to you on the phone, I'll say it to you to your face.
That's how I am. If I got something to say to you, I'd say the exact same thing to you in person. If I'm going to laugh at you here, I would laugh at you in person. You know, and I'm the same person. I'm going to pick and play even in person. It's just who I am. I like to laugh. I like to have a good time. But far as hatefulness, I don't have hatefulness in my heart like that.
And then if I need an arm rest, I can holler at you and T-Rev.
Oh, there you go. I think I'm a little bit taller than T-Rev though.
But I can still put ball on top of your head.
I think T-Rev is a little dude to me, and I'm a little guy. Oh, he's like a little dude. He's like a little.
I don't believe I could use him with an arm rest.
He like little bitty. Like he little to. I think he's a little guy.
Damn, I'd scare him then if he'd come up next to me, wouldn't he?
I mean, remember he was threatening to beat me up. And I'm thinking, dude, you couldn't beat me up if you wanted to. I'm an old man and you couldn't beat me up. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at this.
Now, wait a minute. Now, he's gangster now.
He's
the gangster now. You better watch that. He might be able to.
He might be able to. I am old. If he can't, I would be ashamed. If he can't whip my ass, I'm a 50-some-year-old man. You can't whip my ass. You weak. That's how I look. You better. If you can't whip my ass, I'll whip your ass and laugh at you. Be like, damn, little dude.
That's like when that guy got in a fight on the golf course.
You give me
he picked on that little fella. Little fella dotted that eye for you.
Yeah, be like, you bad when you get beat up by an old man. Be like, damn, dude, you just got beat up by an old man.
Well, this boy had radiation chemotherapy and still dotted that guy's eye.
Hey, it's the fight. It ain't the dog. It's the fight in the dog. All right, Doug.
Hey, hi, PJ.
All right, peace.
Y'all remember that. That's my saying. Bye, PJ.
Yep. Shirts are selling. We owe you a cut.
All right, man. Later.
Right, peace. Yeah, you can get your Buy a PJ shirt right now available on the merch store. Yeah, like I said, yeah, I pick on T-Rev. Okay, I pick on. It ain't hateful. I don't hate the guy. Dolly.
Dolly. What you doing, brother?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
You? Man, I'm doing all right. I just wanted to see what you're up to.
You gotta tell us who you are and where you calling from.
It's Richard from Texas.
Oh, okay. What's up, Richard? Long time no talk.
That's what I said, brother. What's up? Yeah, how you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. Not bad at all.
Not at all. That's good. I like all your new backgrounds. I wish I could figure all that crap out.
Oh,
Looks
okay.
nice.
Yeah, it looks pretty clean. I simplified it a little bit. It was a lot going on. I was like, oh, we need something simple.
Yeah, but it's good because like you don't like if you move, it doesn't look like like you watch it on some channels, and when they move, everything moves. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like some kind of shadow behind it or something. Yours doesn't do that.
I know. I'm good at what I do.
I know you are. I know you are, Judge Dolly. You wear your judge outfit. Oh man. Oh Lord. So what y'all been planning? Are y'all gonna go do any searching or plan upcoming plans for trials or anything?
I don't know. Right now, well, usually this time of year we focus on our Christmas wish list, which we have up. If my mods could be posting that link to the wish list.
Cool.
So around this season we buy somebody Thanksgiving dinner and we have it all delivered to their house. We buy Christmas gifts for people. So I'm glad you brought up what's going on. It's a good way for me to plug it. Roll right into my plug-in segment.
There you go.
We raise money to buy people Christmas, which we have our fundraising link up now. And so what we're going to do
like last year's like for the little girl's camera and stuff.
Yeah.
After the trout. Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Remember last year?
That's a good deal.
Yeah, we did it last year. And
that was cool.
So we're going to do it again this year. And we hope to help more people this year, but we're going to help at least 3 families. I do 3 families every year, at least, and 1 family for Thanksgiving dinner. So we're going
to put in a word. Yeah, I think I can make a request for 1 family that I know really, really, really needs something in the true crime world, and it was really a big case, especially case.
Well, how we're going to do it is this. Me and PJ talked about it at dinner tonight. Usually me and PJ pick the families every year, right? Me and her, we just sit down and she reads them to me and I go, okay, that one. But this year we're going to have for our members, if you're a member on this channel or a mod, because there's no way to separate it, but we want to kick the regular chatters out and we're going to have a group conversation in here and we're going to vote for the families that get help between my members. So if you're a member here, we're going to read the letters, right? And then we're going to vote to let the members vote of what family to help. So I used to pick them, me and PJ, but we're going to let everybody else pick with us this year.
That's cool. Because I was just going to say Susan Simpson, all their kids and her mother, was just a retired teacher. We raised like $70,000 for her a long time ago.
You can send me a letter and we'll go over your letter here just like we will everybody else's.
Okay, all right, okay, that'll work. Thank you.
Just shoot it in. Then when we have the stream of what families we're going to pick, we're going to go in and we're going to read the letters to our members, and then we're going to vote, and then we're going to pick those 3 families, and then we're going to start getting Christmas presents together, and that'll be a week before Christmas because we want the Christmas presents to be there by Christmas.
You just got a big heart, man. That's so good. So
it's just my way of giving back. It's just once a year. It's not the end of the world, but if it grow, I want it to grow more and more each year. So, and hopefully some other people or do something similar. And if we help 3 and another, we can help a lot of people with all the true crime channels we get.
I'll do it.
Yeah,
no, I'll do it. I'm a little bitty channel, but I'll do it.
Yeah, and I think the more people, the more people doing this, the more families we can help. Especially, I want it to be families in our community. So help the true crime community.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
It's a really good idea.
So if you're in the true crime community, it's one of your family members, a loved one, them are the people we want to help right now. I wish we could help people outside the community, but I think it's best to help our own community.
Yeah, I agree. And it just shows the character of who you are as a person, right? Like I always say, I don't know if you watch any of my videos, you might not, I don't know, but I always have said that I kind of, I kind of came into your channel, called in, and I just felt like doing it. Remember, and you kind of pushed me and said, try it, but it is hard, but kind of like your role model, I guess, what made me start it.
Well,
so I guess that's,
if you're going to pick somebody, you got to pick the best.
There you go.
I'm
That's what
playing.
I'm
I'm
saying.
playing. I'm playing.
Hey, I don't know. You're not. It's right. I mean, everything that I'm learning. I'm still learning every day. It's just a learning process. But
Yeah.
it teaches me a lot in this true crime thing, and like how to look out for certain things and
Well,
watch people.
I learned a lot from Art Bell, and that's where I've took my stuff from. Is like you got to look up to somebody, and that was always my thing. It was Art Bell, Coast to Coast, and that's why I wanted the show so much like a radio show and not so much like a TV show.
That's true. You don't want to look like that, man, but you do a really good job of it. That's for sure.
Thank you, Rich. Thank you. And
you help a lot of people, and not just for Christmas, because you do go search, and it's time, it's money, it's not cheap. That's what I try to tell everybody. It's not cheap to go search. It's not.
Oh hell no! Plane tickets are $1,000 a pop.
Yeah. Oh, not today. Hotels $300-$400 a night for not even a really nice hotel.
Yeah,
crazy.
It adds up. And these days I try not to stay in shady places, so it actually costs a little bit more. When I first started doing, I would stay anywhere. I'd stay in the cheapest hotel possible. But now I think got a little more bougie, and like I'm like, no, I ain't doing it. I gotta have at least a decent. I ain't gotta have the damn Hilton, but I gotta have somewhere I'm not getting hit by bed bugs.
You don't want to be scratching all night when you're trying to sleep. Like you want to sleep.
I ain't trying to scratch all night. All right, Rich, you be good, brother.
All right, brother. You be careful, man. Keep doing what you're doing, brother.
All right, peace.
All right, man. Peace.
Yeah, it's pricey to search for people because you got to figure plane tickets are right now the worst, and this is like the worst time I've seen, to be dead honest. Plane tickets are expensive. Like I don't know what's going on with the airlines, if it's the government shutdown or whatever it may be. Plane tickets are 3 times higher now. 3 times, right? Shit you could have flew to for $300 now costs you $1,000. So I'm like, wow. And then of course, like I said, I used to stay in $79 a night hotels. I just can't do that anymore. My life is more important than that. It's just dangerous. I can't do it. So it got a little more expensive for me. Dolly.
Hi, hold on. Let me mute. How are you, Dolly?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. Did you say that the Jake Harrow court date is tomorrow?
Yes. He goes to court tomorrow for sentencing.
For sentencing?
Yes.
Okay, so where is it?
I think Calabazon.
Where's that?
California.
Oh, okay.
Near San Bernardino.
So is it going to be televised? Like, are we going to see it?
I'm not for sure. Let me ask my producer. Do you know, PJ, is that going to be televised tomorrow?
They haven't been.
They haven't been. It's just the news going in and recovering it.
How long do you think it's going to be? Like for the sentencing, will it give information? Like,
it's going to be.
How does that go down?
I'm sure it's going to be a few hours.
Okay.
So
do you know what time?
I believe 9, but their time. I mean, California time.
I'll have to check.
Okay.
I'd like to go to it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well, let me look into that, and if it's on Zoom, or if we do see it on Zoom or anything, are you going to put it on your show?
Yes. If it's streaming, I will stream it. Okay, I will talk to you later.
Wait, hold on. I have a question. I have something very important. Okay, so every year I do turkey boxes. With all the trimmings, and for 4 to 6 people. Would you want to, if I give you 10 of them or something, do you want to try and give them to families?
Well, I don't know how we would do that with it being perishable food. What we do.
Well, they go and pick it up. So it's for Walmart. So
that's how we do it at Walmart too.
Right. So it's a box, and you get turkey, stuffing, trimmings, blah blah blah. All sorts of
I mean,
stuff,
if you
right?
wanted to donate something like that, yes, we'll give it away here.
Okay, so I'll email you. When do you want to start doing something like this?
We started today. Usually we start
Yeah.
October 1st, but we started late this year in November.
Yeah.
So we're a little behind the ball than we usually are, because we
Yeah.
usually start a lot earlier, so we have time to raise the funds and do everything. But we're just going to turn up the heat on it now and get to it.
Okay, here's another question. Because you're doing a Christmas thing, right?
Uh-huh.
What if we switch it up for Thanksgiving?
Well, we do a Thanksgiving thing also. We do it for Thanksgiving, and when we roll it into Christmas.
Okay.
We just treat it as the holidays. It's our holiday thing.
Because I'm thinking, Thanksgiving too. You guys have got Thanksgiving and Christmas, right? Okay. I'll email you in regards to that, and we can work something out. Okay. So
awesome.
Love to you both.
All right. Bye.
Okay. Night.
Hold on, guys. I got to talk to my producer for a second. Give me 1 second. Okay, I'm back with you guys. So yeah, okay. Night, everyone. Let's see. I'm just catching up on the chat. What I missed while I was gone at 30 seconds. Play music. LOL. Picky. I'm back. I wasn't gone long enough to play music. What would you have got? 30 seconds into a song? Okay, 30 seconds into a song, and I'd have been back. I'm going to bed. Okay. Good night. Hope you sleep well. Dolly.
Hey, Dolly.
Hey, Charlie.
This George down here in Houston.
Oh, I thought it was Charlie from Middle Georgia. What's up, George from Houston?
No, George from Houston.
Okay. What's up, George? How you doing tonight?
Well, I've been looking at this stuff about these raids and stuff on these Walmart and these grocery stores and stuff like that going on because of this government shutdown.
Is that real?
DBT.
Is people really raiding Walmarts? I ain't seen nothing today on the news about it or nothing.
Well, I hadn't seen anything on the news, but I've seen some stuff on YouTube about it.
Oh.
I don't think the news is reporting on it.
Oh, I thought most of the states paid people with benefits. I think Virginia did.
I don't know. I haven't seen anything like I said, I haven't seen anything in the news about it. But I see a lot of stuff about it on the YouTube.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything about it yet, but I don't recommend anybody stealing, breaking the law.
No, of course not.
But I don't want to see families starving either.
No, I don't either. But I don't want to see people just raiding the grocery stores and stuff like that either.
I mean, if you ain't paying, I ain't paying. That's how I look at it.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, if there's a big collective raid going on, I might go down there and get into it.
I don't think there is. I think most states come up with ways to cover it, just like they did last time. I mean, this ain't the first time we've been through this. They need to come up to an agreement with a budget so the government can open back up. But our politicians are fighting with each other, and do they really care about the people is the question, and it shows me that, they don't.
Well, I wondered tonight, okay, so healthcare spending is outside of the bounds, and food, is outside of the bounds. So maybe these two parties are working together to try to rein in both of these problems.
I mean,
you understand what I'm saying?
The problem is they're not working together. Usually they come up with an agreement to temporarily keep everything moving until they can sort out the budget. But right now, people they're not coming to agreement, and usually they do. And it's so people get their way, and they're not getting their way, so they're kind of just locked. And there's really nothing you can do.
But what I'm saying is,
it's the Congress.
You got
the president.
You have a few people out there. I mean, I think there's 20 million people that are worried about their health care rising, and you got 40 million people worried about losing their food benefits.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, the difference is kind of crazy.
Yeah, it just shows you the president ain't got no damn power. It's like everybody complains that he's this king or this dictator, but he don't really have any power. He don't have any power. I mean, we see that the government shut down. If the president had power, the government wouldn't be shut down.
Exactly. I mean, and why are we spending so much money to ship to South American countries and Israel and all these other places?
But we can't afford our own government. Yeah, I don't know. I can't explain that either. I mean, it's like I said, it's the Senate and Congress. They the ones that vote on it. You got to have 60% of the vote, and they don't got that, so they're deadlocked and they're shut down. I mean, it's the Democrats hold the vote, and they're not agreeing with anything, so they can't come to agreement. So the government shut down. You would think they would have some common ground to at least come to a temporary solution. And that's what they usually do for like 3 months until they can work out the budget and work out their differences.
Right.
But they can't do that right now. I learned that from a TikTok.
Right.
To know what was going on. And this TikTok lady broke it down. I was watching her on TikTok, and she was like, and I didn't agree with nothing she was saying because she was a big old lefty.
We got the whole government shut down because 20 people are going to have their health insurance rise.
Well, I don't know if it's 20 people. I don't know the numbers. I'm not a political channel, so I didn't even understand it myself till I started looking into it myself. Like, why the hell can't they come to any kind of agreement? And it's just that it's politics. They don't like each other, and everybody's pulling their rank, and now the American people are left in the cold holding the bag. And who represents you, right? Like, it's like both sides are hurting the people because they can't come to agreement.
Working together.
Because listen, there's a lot of people out here that get benefits that don't need them and abuse them, but there are real families out here that are really struggling that need that help.
That's exactly right.
And that's who it really hurts.
There's families that really need these benefits, and then there's been both sides are abusing both parts of the system, the healthcare and the food part, and both parties are working together to rein in this mess.
I mean,
that's what I think.
They should do something about it. They should at least come to a common ground. Even if you're fighting, come to a common ground, at least enough to take care of the people, and then y'all go back to fighting. But
exactly
where it don't affect the people.
Right. You got to pay the police. You got to pay the military.
Yeah. And even the government offices that are open. They're on a limited budget there too. So, I mean, it's crazy. Like you said, we send money all over the place, but we can't even afford our own government.
Right. And we got to have
crazy. That's crazy. Like that's why I ain't into politics. It's all messed up. It's all messed up. All of it. So that's why I don't get into it.
and we got to pay these airline people. You can't. You feel like getting safe on a plane?
And that's what I said. I don't think people realize it. Like when I was talking about how much it costs to be lately, just in general, not just because of the shutdown, but over the last year, airline tickets are through the roof. I mean, through the roof. Everywhere you fly is $1,000, $800,
and then you're going to smash into a plane while you're trying to take off.
I mean, I hope not. Don't say that. I fly a lot. You know what I'm saying? I might fly somewhere soon. You never know. Whatever pops up, I may jump up and go. It costs a little bit more to fly like that too. When you don't have if you book a plane ticket 3 months out, yeah, you can get it kind of cheap. But you know, we don't know when kids are going to go missing 3 months out. You know what I'm saying? We know right then, and we got to get there. It's always $1,000. Boom, $1,000 out of the bank, $1,000. So, it's pricey, and I wish it was. I could do more if it was cheaper. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, that trip to California hit me hard. I mean, that was a bad one because I didn't know how long I was going to be there, so I couldn't book a returning flight. I rented the car from the airport. I probably shouldn't rent cars from the airport. They're expensive as shit. But you know, learning lesson. I spent a lot of damn money on that Calabasas. That's how you say it. That was pricey.
Yeah.
So, and I didn't really have time to raise money to do it. So I just boom, took it out the account and we'll figure it out, you know, as we go. But that set me back pretty financially.
Here I got a grandmother that's about 95. She's probably going to die, you know, in the next year or two.
I don't wish death on her.
My mom
live to 120. Be the oldest person ever.
My mom is 72. I mean, and they live 600 miles away from me. They live up in Arkansas. Yeah. I'm in Texas.
Yeah. Well,
so when they die, I'm not going to be able to fly to there because I don't have the money to get there.
Yeah, I can understand. You know, that's like I didn't go to Portland because I couldn't afford it right yet. I was like, okay, I can get there. I got money for the ticket. People donated money for the ticket, but I still didn't have enough for the hotels, right? Because I can't just stay in a crack hotel. I mean, I ain't dying. I got to live. You know what I'm saying? My life's important. My family wants me to make it home. I can't be in the hood. So I didn't have the money for the hotel.
Yeah, you can't just live on the street.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hear you.
And then the rental cars, everything, and the food, everything, it's expensive. So
it's expensive.
That's why I have a where people can donate to the traveling fund. So when it comes time to travel, I have the money to do these things to go help in these cases. And we've been able to do a lot like that. If not, I wouldn't have been able to do hardly any of the stuff I've done. And we've done it. We've covered a lot of cases. So thank God that people want to chip in and help and make it not so hard. So we're able to get the live coverage and the coverage that we need as a group.
Well, you're fortunate that you have the channel that you have and that you're doing what you're doing. And
I know.
And everybody, you know, I support you. I support what you're doing.
I couldn't do, like I said, we couldn't do it without the people. There's no way. This is a crowdsourced funding channel. I mean, we don't make that much money off of YouTube for commercials. I don't know if anybody's ever been in the commercial business on YouTube. It don't pay shit. I hate to say it ain't very much. So what with the donations
I'm 57
and the memberships, it adds up. Every little bit adds up to make it possible.
Yeah, I know.
So you got to grind. You really got to grind here on YouTube. Now some people
I've been out of work. I've been out of work for 3 years and I'm 57 and I don't know what I'm about to face, you know.
Yeah.
When I have to go back into the workforce.
Well, you just need to find a job that you physically can do, you know. That was my problem.
I talked to my uncle today and I said, you know, I just need to find a job that I like.
Yeah. That's important too.
I just don't want to find a job that I hate.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I enjoy what I do now. I didn't enjoy what I did before. But I don't make nowhere near the money I make when I was working. I made way more money working than I do here on YouTube.
Well, I made good money working in the pawn shop. I worked in the pawn shop for 15 years. And before that, I worked in a auto parts store, you know.
Yeah.
And I saved quite a bit of money. I put together about $50,000 in savings, and now I'm kind of blowing through that. But
yeah, it don't take long because the prices, everything's so high. I've never been able to have a decent savings. I just bills and life in general it sucks my money dry. I mean, it just is what it is. Like I don't make a lot of money, and like I said, the cost of everything's going up, so it adds up. I mean, it's rough on everybody. That's why
it is.
I know how hard it is because I've been in situations where I could reach in my pocket and pull out thousands of dollars. And I've been in situations where I could reach in my pocket and not have two nickels to rub together. So I've been in both boats.
Yeah.
I've been doing really well, and I've been really broke. So I know the feeling.
Yeah.
So.
All right, brother. Well, listen, I'm going to let you get on to the next caller.
All right. You be good.
All right. You too.
All right, peace. Yeah. The struggle is real out here. That's why, in the holidays, we usually don't do no traveling. When we throw the fundraisers up in the holiday season, it's to help other families. Okay. Now when I say my broke and somebody else is broke, there may be two different brokes. Like my broke is my bills are paid. I got food in the refrigerator. I might not have money to go out and do something crazy. Right. That's my broke. Other people's broke is my lights are getting turned off. I ain't got nowhere to live. The damn repo in my car. That it's a different. When I say I'm broke, don't think that if you're doing bad, don't give me your money, okay? Because my broke may not be the same. I might not consider broke what you consider broke. All right, there's two types of broke. There's really broke, and then there's dolly broke. My broke is I own my home. My bills are paid. I got food in the refrigerator. I just ain't got a lot in the bank. Right? Like I can't just fly off to California and cover a case. That's dolly broke. Okay. Your broke might be, Dolly, I reached in my pocket. There ain't nothing but pocket lint. The lights are already been turned off. There ain't no food in the fridge, so the struggle is different for everybody. So, I don't want it to be like, and just remember, if you're on a fixed income or something like that, just because I say I'm broke, don't give me your money. All right. All right, we got Crimson Tide. You got to show yourself in the back just so I know you're real. And you can come up and speak. All right, it's white right now. I didn't see you. All right, I'll just throw a screen up to make sure you're who you say you are because I didn't see your picture, but hold on.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hey. So I came up to.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Crimson Tide.
Yes.
I hear you. I hear your mic now. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure you said you were who you said you were because we'll have some weird dudes and shit come back there. They'll get all naked. It's weird.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What's going on?
I came up to having a weird Okay.
Right.
I came up to talk about Sebastian.
Okay.
So, what do you think is going on with that cake? You think it's cold?
Yes, I would say.
Okay, let me drop down and I'll come back.
Okay. Now, yeah, do I think the case is cold? To answer her question, yeah, there hasn't been much come out of it in a good long time. And I know it's still an active investigation, according to Hendersonville police, that they're still investigating it. And you may want to drop completely down off the backstage and then come back up. Okay. So I would say, yeah, it's cold. Is it over? Like they're not investigating no more? I would say no. But at the 3-year mark, that's when they usually say a case is a cold case. And we're